Kristin and I met in high school. We went to IUPUI together, got married pretty young, around 20, 21, bought a house, started a family and everything, so it's been a long time. It was Kristin's dream to go to Disney, so we did a week-long trip at Disney and then came back and had a friend's wedding actually down in Kentucky. So shortly after we got back, Kristin had got up and taken the kids to school, got everybody ready, and came back home and woke me up about an hour after all that, saying that she was having some chest pain, that her hands were tingling a little bit, and that she just wasn't feeling very well. I kind of brushed that off a little bit, but she came back out after the shower. I asked her a couple questions about jaw pain and chest pain and how her hands were feeling and arm pain. And she said that her jaw hurt, but that her chest was feeling a little bit better. Hands were feeling a little bit better, and there was a little bit of discussion about whether we thought she should go to the hospital or anything. And that we decided that, you know, we didn't know what a cardiac arrest was, and so that we would just kind of see how things went. I went into the bathroom to get into the shower, and I came back out because I forgot something, and I found her down on the bed. I actually made a joke, you know, if you don't stop playing around, I'm gonna have to call the ambulance. And a second or two after, she didn't respond, and so I realized that something was very wrong. I rolled her over and she was blue and not breathing and things like that. And so I knew I needed to call 911, unlock the front door and start CPR. That's what I needed to do. There was a lot of talking and crying and begging her to come back and things like that. And I'm thinking about the kids, and I was a mess. I was purely panicked. Just the shock of what happened. Everything was fine. Life was proceeding normally up until that point. And I remember when I grabbed my phone, I was like, I have to call 911. They weren't sure if there was brain damage or not. So they have a protocol where they put someone in a hypothermic state. We have 3 days where she's gonna be like that. She could wake up and be a totally different person, or she might not wake up at all, or she might wake up and be fine. So it's just the whole spectrum of possibilities really made it hard to try to deal with this situation. How do you even explain this type of thing to your kids? And they have no idea what's going on. Such a sudden shock that we were really unprepared for this. As the sedation started to wear off, she would kind of start moving a little bit. She actually opened her eyes and looked at me. I ran out and told the nurses, and that was the first time from the nurses that I actually got the sense that they were optimistic about her recovery.
So I don't really remember coming to. I don't remember asking questions repeatedly. That Monday following my event, I was scheduled for a cardiac and brain MRI, and I have very vivid memories of that. I think to go through a procedure that took nearly 2 hours, where you have to lay completely still, and you're completely by yourself, and being told that just 5 days before that you had died, it was terrifying. You know, nobody could tell me why my heart stopped beating. I think I felt alone for the first time. It really took a good year, I think, for me to kind of accept that we don't have answers, that we may never have answers, and just try to move on. But there was a lot of fear and not knowing what had happened. And then that turned into fear of, okay, I've got this defibrillator now, it's wonderful. But you know, when I was shocked initially, I was unconscious. The whole idea of this is that it's gonna catch it before I go down. So what would that feel like? What would that look like? It's taken a while, but I've come to the place where I'm incredibly thankful for medical technology, and I can't imagine going on with life with no answers, but also no safety net. So just knowing that it's there should we need it.
After all this, I learned that most people don't recover from these sort of things, and most people die or have permanent brain injuries and things like that. And so it's a reminder just of how suddenly life can change and how grateful we should be for each day that we have. And we were kind of given the second chance at life and being a family. And I almost feel like we have an obligation to remember and to do as much as we can with this opportunity that we've been given. I'm very grateful for what the American Heart Association is doing, and I think it's so important that we even just talk about this. I had to learn a lot about it. And so I feel like this opportunity and this incident that we had has really been giving us a chance to talk to other people about this and enlighten other people about this and keep this in the back of their mind when they're out and someone goes down at a sporting event or in church or something like that, what they can be looking for that I had no idea what to look for.
It's crazy, and it's hard to grapple with the fact that less than 10% of people will survive, and then an even smaller percentage of those people can go on to sit down with others and share their story and resume a normal life. You know, I'm hopeful that one day there won't even be a need for stories like this because it'll be so commonplace. It won't be this miraculous, you know, oh my gosh, you survived this, nobody does. It'll be, oh yeah, that happened and that was terrible, but because you got quick CPR because we knew where the AED was, you're still here like so many other people are.